One thing that the state's current administration does and has done for a while is they'll dish out these grants to companies. The company moves here, they get a grant, or if they expand, they get a grant, and the governor's out there, and there's a big press conference and everything. Is that a practice you would continue to do, or do you feel that cutting taxes will be all that's necessary and we won't need to do these?
Well, cutting taxes is not the entire business plan to bring jobs to Wisconsin. We need to improve our business climate. And as a business owner, and understanding the problem we have here in Wisconsin, we are looking at things like the Forbes magazine study that says we're the 47th worst state in America to do business. We're looking at the study that says the Milwaukee area is 96 out of 100 in terms of worst place for small business. We're looking at the education system here. There's a lot more to it than just plain cutting taxes. And this business plan would include going to private sector business owners across Wisconsin, big business and small business and medium business, and asking some of these business owners to do the same thing that Sue and I are doing, and that is putting our lives on hold for a period of time to serve our state and to serve our country. I will ask them to serve in our economic development team as they set their businesses aside for a period of time to serve their state and country in the same manner that we're doing, that Sue and I are doing with our businesses. So if we can develop this economic team of experienced, successful business leaders, community leaders, and have them then go to the states that are actually attracting jobs in the middle of this recession, that is what's going to lead us to the plan to actually make Wisconsin competitive across the board. So understand the problem. The vision would be that we're going to be, and again, I should be very clear on this, the vision for the state of Wisconsin, if you decide to make me governor, is that we will have the best place in the country and the best place in the world to do business, and we will measure and quantify whether or not we have achieved that objective. Boy, that's scary. Do I sound like a business person? We will measure whether or not we have achieved that objective by whether or not we are attracting more jobs to Wisconsin than any other state in the country. So I have a clear vision. It's a measurable vision. We know where we want to get to. We're going to ask our economic development team to go to the other states around the country, Texas, Indiana, some of these other states that are actually attracting jobs even in the middle of this recession. And we're going to quantify what it is that they are doing different than what we're doing here in the state of Wisconsin. We are then going to lay out a strategic plan that allows Wisconsin to not only match what Texas is doing, we want to do it better. Because I come from the attitude that anything they can do in Texas, we can do better here in the state of Wisconsin. So what we want to do is understand that problem fully, we want to set the vision, and then we want to go and quantify a strategy to get from where we are to where we're going to, and then we want to market it. And when I say market it, I mean spend enough money to make sure that the rest of the country and the rest of the world knows what we're doing here in our state, with one important caveat, and that is that for every dollar that gets spent, we bring $10 of new tax revenue into our state because we brought jobs and businesses to the state. So this is a very desirable thing to have happen, because we will have additional revenues coming to the state from the new jobs that are created here in Wisconsin. So that plan for business is much bigger than just cutting taxes. Now, I didn't mean to avoid any other part of your question, but I do not want to leave the impression that cutting taxes all by itself is going to solve the job problem in the state of Wisconsin. Now, Jim Doyle and company have approached these problems in exactly the opposite way of what I've laid out here. It's one of the reasons I'm running for governor. When I look at what Jim Doyle and company has done to our state, they have tried to raise taxes to generate more revenue, and they don't seem to understand that raising taxes has exactly the opposite impact of what I suggested before. If the government takes more money out of your pockets, you have less money to either spend or save, and it leads us into a spiral downwards in terms of jobs, and that's exactly where the state of Wisconsin is today. So when you asked before about what taxes am I going to cut, well, of course I went on to do the Doyle tax increases first, because that's what's got us into this spiral downward. When the state takes more of your money, you have less money left to spend or save, and it leads to an economic decline in our state that we are seeing around us. So that theory works both ways, by the way. It works in reverse just as well as it works in a positive direction. Did I answer everything you said? I didn't mean to...
Well, the other aspect was, would you continue these, the doling out of these incentive packages or whatever?
I feel like a politician. I almost avoided your question completely without answering it. Sorry. Would I establish packages for businesses to come here? I would do a cost-benefit analysis on the package that we were looking at. So if a business was going to bring 10 jobs here and it took $4 million to do it, we would not do it, because that would not pass the cost-benefit analysis. But if a business, we will be looking at the additional tax revenues generated by the business that locates here and we will consider building packages based on the tax revenues generated by the business that is brought here. And that's how we will evaluate what packages we should be offering to businesses. But again, I want to emphasize, it is not the package offer, and it is not taxes alone that make the difference. And let me add to this a real world example. We were on another one of our Main Street visits where we were talking to a business owner. The guy says to me, he said, you know, Mark, we just had a chance to add to our business. We were in competition, they have companies around the country. We had a chance to get them to Wisconsin. They found out that it was going to take 2 years to get the permit here in Wisconsin, and it took 9 months in the other state. And we lost those jobs in Wisconsin because of the regulations here in the state, and they couldn't get through the permitting process. So there's more to it than taxes, there's more to it than the incentive packages, folks. As a business owner, you're looking at where is it most cost effective to do business. And I come at this as a business owner. I can hardly wait, you guys, to sit down across the table from other business owners and discuss in their language what's necessary to get them to locate here in Wisconsin.